Hello viewers, in this tutorial I will demonstrate how you can connect to a MySQL database from Microsoft Power BI to pull the data to create a simple analytical report. Please note that the purpose of this tutorial is not to teach you about MySQL but to focus on how to connect, pull the data and design a report in Power BI. I have a full series on Power BI and Oracle about how to create simple to advanced level analytical reports, and if you want to learn advanced level Power BI reports and dashboards, I suggest you watch that series, for which I have given the link in the description of this video below. Again, it doesn't matter which database you are pulling the data from. All that matter is that how you present the data in your analytical report. And the Power BI application console looks like this. We will close all these splash screens because we will get everything we need to learn through the menu items. And now we are ready to connect to our database. I assume that you already have a MySQL database in your local machine or in your network along with the credentials to connect. You will get all these details from your database administrator or the DBA of your database. If you don't have one, then you can install the MySQL database in your local machine, which is a free software, and there are tons of videos in YouTube showing how to install MySQL database. I am also giving the link to download and install MySQL in the description of this video below. In this video, I am mainly focusing on how to connect to the database, pull the data and design your report. To connect to the database, first click on this Get Data button here, then More. In the left hand side list, we will select the database option, and in the right hand side, we will select MySQL database, and then click on this Connect button. And now in this dialog box, we need to provide a few details to connect to the MySQL database. First, the DNS or the IP address of the server. If you install it in your local machine, then instead of the IP address or the DNS, you can simply put localhost here. But in my case, I have installed the MySQL database in one of my Linux virtual machine, which has an IP address of 192.168.1.100. Secondly, you need to supply the port at which the database is listening to the incoming requests for connection, and that has to be provided in this same line but separated by a colon. So usually the default port for MySQL is 3306, and if you are using the default port, you don't even have to specify. I am mentioning it here just to show you how it needs to be specified here. So the IP address or the DNS, and there is a colon, and after that we need to specify the port. Then in this database box, you need to specify the name of the database or the schema. So what is a schema? A schema is a logical collection of the database objects like the tables, views, etc. It is also referred to as a database itself. In my case, I have created a schema named MySchema in the database, which has the table from where I will pull the data. So I will simply put the name of that schema here, which is MySchema, and then click on the OK button. In the next screen, it is going to ask for the username and password to connect to the database. So in these two options, Windows and database, we will select the database option, and then in the username field, the name of the user is MySQL admin for me, and for you it may be different, which you will get from your DBA. And then the password, you just supply the password that you get from your DBA or the password that you have given to this user in your local database, and then click on the Connect button. Now you can see that it has connected to the database. In the left side of the navigation pane, it is giving a list of tables with their owning schemas under the database that we connected, to which we have access to. In this example, I am showing only one sample table named employee under the schema named MySchema, but in your case, there may be multiple tables under multiple schemas to which you have access to, and from that list, you can check mark the ones from which you want to pull the data to display in your report. So I will simply select this, and in the right hand side, it will display the information about the employees, like the first name, last name, department, and the salary. These four are the columns in the table. Please note that these are just sample data and does not represent any fact or real world information. And then we will click on this load button. It will take a couple of seconds to load the data, and the data has been loaded. And if you want to take a look, you can click on this data view. It will show us the information or the data available. This third and the last button gives us the model view of the data we loaded. Right now, there is nothing to model as there is only one table or entity. Now we'll go back to our report view. That is nothing but the canvas where we are going to design our report. If you are able to connect to the database without any issues, please watch the part 2 in this series where I am demonstrating how we can create this simple yet meaningful analytical report with the employee data that we loaded. And if you are facing issues while connecting to the database, then please watch my other video on how to resolve Power BI to MySQL connection errors, for which I have given the link in the description of this video below.